Okay, another day here. Desert life and adventures. Shop dogs? Shop dogs. What are you doing? What are we working on today? We're working on the backhoe, aren't we? So, welcome back. Just gonna give you a quick update where we're at here. Hey, I'm talking to him. Little windy. Hopefully I don't get too much wind noise here. Got a north wind. I don't know if you can see it up there, but there's enough wind. I'm flying my kite today. Maybe we can see it right there, right over the top of the garage. And a couple of my neighbors here got a deal thing where we. So where we're at today, got the shroud pulled off, got the fan pulled off, got down into the bolts for the pump here, got them loosened up, got some fluids draining, kind of a pain four-wheel drive, but we got these here loosened up. Got the hose loosened over here. That's where the bulk of my drainage is. Getting the oil drained out of there. Fortunately, this side, I'm assuming they designed it that way. It's got a little hole back in the back of that trough. So it's draining down into a bucket. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to pull the radiator and the cooler or not. First thing I'm going to do is get that pump out of there. But I've got the motor mounts in there I've got to replace. So depends on how hard or easy those are to get at, whether I go ahead and pull that radiator off. But that's where we're at right now. I get that pump out of there. As soon as that oil quits draining, and get that side plate pulled off, get that hose out of the way, then I should be able to pull that pump, get the part numbers off of it, and double check online and get one ordered. Like I say, there's a couple different pumps that will fit that. So we'll see what I get and bring you guys back here for updates as needed. So hope you're having a good day, and y'all take care, and we'll see you here in a little bit. Well, I'm bringing you guys back here quick. I was doing some looking here and evaluating and seeing where I had to go next, and one of the things I found, so if you look right there, there's a bolt and there's another one above it. Now that one actually looks like it may be loose some. But part of the problem I found is over on this side, I've got no bolt. So that could be part of the problem there. I've run a screwdriver in there. I don't feel anything broken off, but I can't feel threads either, so we'll keep going here and see what we find. I'm hoping those bolts just backed out. I don't think that's the one that I found laying down in there. Those are too little of a head. Those actually look like fan bolts. There's my fan bolts right there. But back in here out of the wind. So I'm hoping those bolts are just backed out in there. They didn't mess up threads or anything in there. So when we're getting closer, just about, I'm still waiting on some fluid to drain and a couple more fittings. I got to go in the house. I forgot what I went in the house for. I need some Ziploc bags. I got 2 of my lines off, and I'm going to zip tie some sandwich bags around those. So I'll bring you guys back if I find any other interesting updates or when I get to a point where it's more interesting. Okay, bringing you guys back here. I think I'm about ready to pull this pump. We'll see. A lot of times I have time to think about these things, stay awake at night, figuring out how I can do some of this stuff by myself, but I haven't had that luxury in this case. I just got it down to where I believe it's ready to come out. I didn't expect to be at this point, so I'm kind of making this up as we go. So what I've done, I've got me a 4x4 across there. I got just a little, not even a ratchet strap, just a tie down strap there. Basically got it just holding some weight, some pressure. I can always lift that a little bit if I need to. I've got my my hoist out here. I've got a couple of straps wrapped around that pump, so hopefully as it comes loose it'll come out this way and have some support. Yeah, we're ready to see how this is going to go. We'll set you guys up here and see how many takes it takes to get it out. So stand by. Alrighty then, there it is. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You can see that coupler right there. See the motor mounts. I'll get me some parts cleaner and get sprayed in there. Check those bolts. Yep, definitely got some chewed up splines. So, like I say, I'll double check that coupler, and now first thing I got to do is get this. There we go. Sorry. First thing I got to do is get the part number plate cleaned off, where I can get a part number off of it, hopefully, and see which one I've got. You know, so far I have not found a rebuild kit per se, but I'm gonna get in here out of the wind. I'm gonna do some checking, because if it's just that shaft, I probably won't have to return this one for a core. And if it's just that shaft, then I'll see if I can find what it takes, and then maybe just replace that, and then I'd have a spare. But that went a lot easier than I thought it would. If a guy had a backhoe, oh wait, I got a backhoe. If a guy had an engine hoist, it wouldn't have been too bad either. But the way I had it rigged there is I got it popped loose out of the mounting flange. Boy, she went good. No mashed fingers, so that's a good thing. Next thing I'm going to do, though, like I say, I'm going to get that part plate cleaned off so I can get the part number. And then I'm going to go pop a bolt on that opposite side of that mounting flange and see if I get those threaded into the block. And if they do, then I got to go to town either tomorrow or Monday. I'll pick up some bolts. I got to pick me up a couple cans of brake cleaner, parts cleaner. But yeah, making good progress here. So hope this will be helpful for some of you guys, and keep bringing you back as things progress. Later. Well, bringing you back for end of the day update. Good thing is I got that pump out. Definitely the splines on the shaft are shot. Well, I already got it put in a baggie here, but the splines inside the coupler are shot as well, which I figured I'd be replacing that. Bad news is the two bolts I found were laying right down in here when I first started taking this apart. Didn't know where they came from. Yeah, they ended up being same size as the ones that go in right here. Unfortunately, they don't go in enough to even start or feel any threads. And I'm pretty well positive that those are the bolts that go there, and you can see how much of them is missing. So I guess tomorrow's project will be to get the engine supported, work on taking out these motor mounts here, getting that mounting flange pulled out, I got to replace the motor mounts anyhow. They're bad. That's one of the things that leads to this. It's probably been doing this for quite a while. and then see if I have enough room in there to get in and drill and get an easy out to get those out. And I thought I was going to be able to do all this without pulling the radiator and the front mount there and stuff, but there's just no way that I have. I'd be able to get them, but there's just no way I have the ability to get in there with all this still on there and try to drill those and get them easy out. So that's the bad news. The good news is we're still making progress. See, that's my plan for tomorrow. I did get online, found the pump in stock at Broken Tractor. I think it's I want to say it was $1,100 or something. Hang on just there a second. Battery's starting to go dead. Yeah. Well, I took a screenshot of it, but I didn't screenshot the price. But I think it was $1,175, something like that. So I'm going to go through my parts book here, see what else, what other parts I need. Like I said, I know I need that coupler and the little bushings that go with it. Oh yeah, okay. Let me just pull this up quick here. $1,144, and then there's probably, I think they got I want to say it was a $59 shipping fee or something, but I'm further for 2 days to 3 days work, whatever it's been. They weren't full days, but I'm closer than I thought I would be. Hopefully I can get this thing kind of wrapped up here fairly quickly, because even though it's, what is it, the middle of March, we're supposed to get up in the 90s next week. Now, I've got an easy up I can put up over myself there if I need to. I didn't think about it when I parked it on that side. I parked it over there because it was close to my air compressor and my tools in the garage, but actually that may help with these hot days that are coming, because I'll be in the shade a little bit. And worst comes to worst, I can get my big swamp cooler out and get it set up to keep myself cool. So that's the update, the progress for today. Shop dogs? Shop dogs. Where'd everybody go? Well, there's two of you. Shadow must be laying in the sidewalk. Yeah, there she is. She taking a nap. You've seen her stretching. Do you have a good nap in there? Is it nice and warm in there, laying in the sunshine? You guys ready to go eat? Go ahead and throw some ribs in and have some ribs and shrimp tonight, and you guys can have your food. It'll be good stuff, huh? Okay. Thank you all for coming back, sticking with me. Learning right along with you guys. Probably some of you know this. Like I say, if you got any tricks or tips, I may go ahead and post a couple of these videos. I still have at least one video on the 53 that I had scheduled to post, but I may go ahead and squeeze in a couple of videos on this project, and that way if people got some tips and tips and tricks to help me with this, why you'll be able to leave them in the comments. So hope you all have a good day. We'll catch you later. Well, another day out here in the shop, actually outside the shop. We're still working on the 580K backhoe. Shop dogs, What do you think today, huh? What are you guys gonna do? You just gonna lay in the shade? It's a little warm today, isn't it? Cisco, what are you gonna do? You just gonna run around and play? Anyhow, so bring you up to speed here. Try to stay out of the wind. I've had to put some subtitles in the video with this wind I've been having here. I've never had to have an external mic on this thing. It's always done good, but after that video I actually got online and started looking, and I'm going to order me a wireless mic with the little cat whisker thing on it, whatever you want to call it. And but I want to bring y'all back here and give you an update. Just got my parts all ordered. Went to town yesterday and bought some parts cleaner and some buckets so I can drain all my fluids. Pretty much had the hydraulic fluid drained. Got the coolant drained, and it actually looks to me like it was more water than coolant. Fortunately, here in the desert, we don't get down to freezing very often, but when I put that back, I'll make sure I got a good 50-50 mix in it. But conclusion I've come to is with these two bolts broke off in there, the only way to really get into that is I'm going to pull the I'm going to go ahead and pull the radiator and the cooler and this big metal shroud here. So I'd already tried these bolts. They come out, nuts came off of them good. I'm not going to pull the two apart. I'm going to take it out as a unit. This big bracket in here seems to hold everything together. And we got some little ones here. If you can see those, that holds it all. That holds the cooler and the radiator to this big bracket. So I'm going to leave those. I got my hydraulic lines here all cracked, and got the fittings cracked on them and loosened up. Got me a strap set up there off of my hoist that's get you over here. My hoist that's been working pretty good there. I'm thinking as this thing comes up, I'll get the bolts out. Hopefully it swings forward enough. I can put it down in the back of the side-by-side and then haul it somewhere where it's going to be easy to offload and then load back on. I'll put you guys on a time lapse for that, and then I don't know if I'll get to it today. Probably not, but this engine has lifting eyes. One there, one there. I've got a neighbor that has a cherry picker, engine hoist, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to get it over here, get the front of that engine raised up a little bit at least. I'm going to try not to mess too much with the back. I may go ahead and loosen them. I think you can see that right there is the rear engine mount. I've ordered a complete new set that'll do them both, but for the time being I'm going to try to get those front ones, which are down right here in this mounting flange where you mount the hydraulic pump to. I at least want to get it lifted up off of those and suspended. I wasn't comfortable trying to get anything underneath, and with the four-wheel drive there's not a lot of room under there to begin with. I was just hesitant about putting anything under the oil pan and trying to raise it and jack it up. So I'll get this front pieces off. Next step will be to get that engine loosened up a little bit where I can raise it a little, just where it's got support, and then I can pull the motor mounts, those front motor mounts, and that front mounting flange. And once I get that pulled in, I can see what I've got in there for broken bolts. Hopefully there's enough sticking out, or enough maybe even flush, where I can get my welder rolled out here. Hey, get over here. Leave the ravens alone. The ravens like to come around and tease my dogs. Where was I? Anyhow, enough to get the, hopefully there's enough of it left there to get a washer welded to, and then a nut welded to that. I'll try a pick and see if I can just back them out first, but I'm not betting on it. So plan B would be to get a nut and washer welded on there. Try it that way. Plan C would be drill it and extract them. See, A, B, C. Plan D would be try to find a mobile mechanic that can come over and extract those. See, plan D would probably be drill them out and put a helicoil in there or something like that. But we'll see where it goes. Hopefully it goes smooth and easy, pretty much like the rest of this job has. So I'll get you guys set up on a time lapse, show you a little bit. Don't know how much I'm going to work on today. It's weekend. NASCAR's on today and tomorrow. I told my wife I'd take her for a drive to look at the spring flowers blooming down here. We're about 85 degrees today, supposed to get even warmer. But like I say, at least I parked it in the right place, because this time of day I'm in the shade. It's supposed to get up into the 90s here in the next week or so. So thank you guys for coming along, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, well, that went really smooth. I want to bring you guys back here and show you a little something. I got some baggies zip tied over my lines. They don't get no dirt, bugs, critters in them. Probably duct tape over both of the radiator inlet and outlet. I was going to zip tie bags over these, and I just wasn't sure if that was going to work, so I got to thinking, trying to figure out what I had. And like I've told you guys, living out here in the desert where I do, I'm an hour from any parts stores, hardware stores, anything like that. So we hoard stuff. I shouldn't say we hoard it. We collect stuff. And some of the stuff we collect, or I collect anyhow, because I left a lot of stuff when I moved from Colorado that I'd gathered over the years. And so I was trying to think if I had any of the plastic fitting plugs, you know, when you buy a new hydraulic hose or power steering hose, something like that, they have a cap or a plug on them. Well, I've got some, but none of them were the right size. But as I got looking through my stuff, I had these. I don't know what these are. They almost look like they would be a floor plug, but they're concave on this side. So I don't know what they are. I got quite a few of them. My son asked me what would I ever use them for, and I said, you never know out here. And I got him out of my neighbor's dumpster. He was cleaning out his garage one day on a property that he bought, and This stuff had been in it for years, and it looked to me like the previous owner was maybe a woodworker. So I don't know. If you know what those are, let me know in the comments. But one of the things I found, I brought one out here, and that little cupped end fits really good over those fittings. And then I take a piece of duct tape and run around this way, take another piece of duct tape and wrap around it, and then zip tie it, and there's what I ended up with. That ought to protect them pretty good. So like I say, that come out easy. I had one bolt on the other side, one of these that I put back in where it goes, that I had to take out so to slide out better. And looking in my mat, apparently this is an oil cooler. I'll have to look at part numbers, but when it in the repair manual, it talks about it being an oil cooler. So I know that what was dripping out looks a little different. So anyhow, now I'm going to go ahead and get that other one there taped off and up, raise that up a little bit, bring the side-by-side over here, and see if it's out far enough where I can back under it with the side-by-side. If not, what I may do is just lower it down, and then when I bring the cherry picker over from my friends in the next day or so, I can lift it back up and maybe just turn it and set it right over there on the ground with my other parts, and then that'll work good to get it back in there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of my way. I get this cleaned up in here a little more. Like I say, then my next thing is to get the engine lifted up a little bit, get in there, pull those motor mount bolts, get those motor mounts out. I got a feeling I'm going to have to leave that engine stand sit there for a little while with the engine hanging off of it till I can get those bolts out and my parts get here, and I got the new motor mounts and stuff. I'll see once I get it lifted up. There may be somewhere down there in that front end where I can stick a board under it and let it back down out of my way or something. But that's where we're at for today. Going to gonna get that out of the way, get it cleaned, get underneath there cleaned up a little bit more, and that'll be it till I get an engine hoist over here and get that weight up off those motor mounts. So we'll catch y'all later.